Welcome to Liwanag, the podcast that has fun, learns, and tells stories. This is Kalila Bastilla.
I am Marvin Vergara.
And this is Isa Miheno.
Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking about founding Liwanag, how this podcast started.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Mm.
yep. So the thing is, you have to understand we came from different backgrounds, and if you think about it, it was almost impossible for us to end up in a situation na nasa podcast kami. But the only possible situation was me and Khalil kasi we had a background when it comes to similarity of coming from the same school.
Yeah,
Pero aside
man.
from that, it was almost impossible in my opinion.
Really?
In my opinion,
Well,
kasi we came from different backgrounds.
so we're like doing the impossible pala.
Yeah,
Pero
more like
yeah, if you think about it then, I love how we're all in different backgrounds, but I think nowadays it's not what necessarily connects people. Like it would really help first if, for example, we all share the same hobbies or kaya interests. It's more of a pulling factor. I don't know. The background thing, I guess, was just very convenient lang, albeit, accidental. Pero I think like the key to it was just meeting up first. Parang tayong tatlo. Pero come to think of it, no? No, before we met up, we already had a chat, right? Pero what did we like open up with? Okay, so before, you knew Isa before me. We just gotta say that clear. Pero like, paano mo siya inaya na parang, alam mo yun, you wanna do a podcast with this completely random stranger? Paano ba, Marv? Paano ba?
Yeah. Honestly, it was weird kasi my thought at the time wasn't trying to convince her.
Oh, really?
Parang, yeah. It's more of like, sige, invite na lang natin to. She seems very capable and we jive. Tapos I was thinking at the time, na sabi ko, if Isa and me do well, like we interact really well, siguro she'll like Khalil. And true enough, I mean, look at the two of you right now. You're very close friends. Yeah?
Virtual high five, Isa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really agree. And parang, well, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Pero how do we decide on like doing the recording in the first place? Alam mo yun, bakit conversations yung naisip mo? Why wasn't it business, for example, or games?
Pero I want to share something muna.
Oh, please. Yeah. Go ahead.
When I got invited by Marvin. So yun nga, first of all, I got invited by Marvin because like what was said, I am a member of a Toastmasters club and that's where we met. And if you're going to become a Toastmaster, you have these pathways kasi that you can select and enroll to. And each pathway has these requirements per level. And I remember Marvin mentioning this in one of our Toastmasters meeting that for him to complete his pathway, he has the option to create a podcast and many other things.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think he and para meron na kayong initial conversation with one another, no?
Yeah, the
So,
thing is, before you proceed, the thing is the idea of recording ourselves happened years before. We weren't thinking podcasts kasi kami ni Khalil, we like to talk about a lot of things. Tapos yung idea ni Khalil, it was like, like Socrates writing notes. It's more of like a recording of the conversation.
That was my idea?
Yeah, that
I
was
must have
your
been good
idea.
years ago.
Yeah, years ago, college. Yeah, and then
Okay.
and then this happened. So yeah, proceed with your story, Isa.
yeah. I guess my eccentricity, I can say, just happened to pique their interest, and I got the invitation. But to be honest with you, I wasn't really keen on joining at first because, for one, although I have been invited to a podcast before, I was a guest, but not a host.
Oh,
So
casual
I
TEDx drop, by the way.
so
She's a
yun nga.
TEDx speaker for those people who don't know. You were saying?
So yeah, I couldn't really picture myself becoming a host in anything in general. Tapos second nga, like what you mentioned a while ago, I barely know you guys. Parang I can't really thoroughly vibe check you guys before kasi we only get to meet once a week and it's through a formal setting pa through the
The
Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, yeah.
Tapos clearly ka, parang twice lang kita ata nakita sa virtual meeting.
I was like
As
the little
Marvin's
invader in the
Toastmaster,
corner.
yes. When Marvin asked me the question, parang
Mm.
inisip ko, if I want to work with people that I know is going to be long-term, at
Mhm.
least I want to be
Mm.
myself. Diba?
Mhm.
A douche
Mm.
basically, but with principles.
Mhm.
So in
You got
short,
that though, right? I mean, hindi ka naman restricted namin. We're not holding her against her life.
That's what I like. Yun nga, kasi I don't want to be,
Okay.
I don't want to tire myself. Parang every time I'm with you, I conceal the not so great parts of me because of the fear of being judged. Pero I'm glad, I'm really glad that I took that risk kasi nga I gained friends with intellect and wit that can match mine. Joke lang.
Yeah.
Thank you, Isa.
God damn.
We
And
feel the
then,
same. The show.
Nice.
Ayun,
That's really nice. So,
by the time na regular meet up na tayo online, ayun, I knew right there and then na makakasundo ko kayong dalawa. Tapos yun,
Yeah.
the rest was history. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, as of now, we've been recording for like for the audience, medyo secret to, pero we've been recording for almost half a year now.
Mhm. But we're gonna place this first because it really tells you what we're about. Ako rin nung unang naisip ko siya, paano ko ba sabihin to? And I'm speaking Tagalog. I think inaya lang din ako ni Marvin. And I would know kasi I already had work at that time. So it meant that I had some other priority. But when he said the idea to me, I was like, there was a big why not. Parang I really vibe with this guy. And it seems that I vibe with, the third person whose name we haven't confirmed yet. Pero I vibe
At the time, yeah.
at that time, parang. Pero I was curious, Marva, why did it have to be like, why didn't you do it by yourself? Ganun na lang.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
What do you
It's
think?
more of I wanted to pursue something, and I didn't want it to be just me.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Now you had that feeling.
Yeah,
Tama,
yeah.
tama.
I mean, I think everything would have been vastly easier. Like the decision, sobrang bilis ka mag-decide for the episode. Like if I decide I'd talk about coffee today, we'll talk about coffee today. Pero at the same time kasi, I think, sabi ko, maganda if I'm with people to check if I end up saying things that are inappropriate or, to checks and balance, kumbaga.
And
it was a good call.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just so happened we got the golden number, 3. So kapag kunwari, if 2 people
Awesome,
decide na tama na to, goods na.
Tapos diverse background, yun ang maganda.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Like just for the audience's idea, I'm more inclined into business, finance. I've been involved in the finance industry for the longest time. And right now I'm getting involved in the public speaking scene. Khalil, on the other hand, would you kindly tell them where you are right now or at life at very least?
I read a lot of books. And I'm part of this government agency. That's all I can say for it now. But yeah,
right.
I think I'm more inclined to the arts.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's something that I could talk about for hours on end. If I were to be, a guest in a podcast, for example, that's what I'd talk about like endlessly, I think. Pero it's kind of weird din because I'm the kind of person who also pursues various interests at once. I don't know, maybe it's this fear na I kind of get you yung sinabi mo kanina when I asked now, why didn't you want to do it alone? For the fact na, I don't know, the previous year, it just leaves you with a sense of yearning.
Yeah.
I gotta do things with people because I've been alone all this time,
Exactly. I had that feeling na, if I pursued things by myself, not to undermine myself, but I think the drive would have been harder to get.
Yes.
In making an episode, as opposed to if you have friends like with you, you're more inclined to do well, to perform well, because you have a responsibility to them. Pero I have a question, Khalil. Was it intentional that you made yourself sound so mysterious? A government agency, I like reading books. You made yourself sound like James Bond, man.
A secret agent.
I just didn't expect the question.
Yeah.
I was like moving into another, and I was like, oh, I have to introduce myself.
So basically, he can't share for the time being what the
For the time
government agency
being.
is.
But
Yeah, for the time
definitely,
being. Pero in the future, just be patient, guys. He will tell you guys.
it's gonna be a
Ano
whole
po na siya,
episode about
let
it.
him be the enigma in your brain. For the ladies out there, think na maybe it's like 008 or something.
Oh, but before we seal it on that, parang Isa, would you kindly tell them your background as well? Just
Of
so you know, we
course.
just prove how diverse we are. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm an engineer by profession. I've been part of the automation industry for about 4 years before jumping into becoming an NGO worker. So parang ang dami kong experiences from
Mm.
different different sectors. And then after that, I went on becoming a faculty member at Talasalipa, where I also founded my social enterprise we call SALT. SALT stands for Sustainable Alternative Lighting, and what we do is we distribute these lanterns that makes use of the most abundant natural resource that we have, which is seawater or ocean water, as a medium for you to generate enough energy to power up LEDs and even charge low-power mobile devices like your cell phones and smartphones. And right now, I'm also handling the innovations labs of the school.
Mm.
So, yun. Basically, technical background na may tinge ng social aspect kasi nag-NGO ako eh.
Mm.
To give them an idea, innovation labs include what?
Well, innovation labs basically a space for everyone to create their prototypes or any type of innovation. So we have what we call fabrication laboratory, wherein we offer machines like 3D printers, laser cutters, CNC routers, any engineering machines that is available for public use.
So very, very creative things and
Yep.
very technical things. No?
That's true. And
So-
what I really like
Yeah,
about
sige.
the group is, I don't know, we easily appreciated one another's background. Like there was this, interest to know, oh, what is this guy about? What is this guy about? So we sort of
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
it
yeah.
along the way, I guess. And it really helps to, just give topics in a podcast. Because we
Yeah,
had diverse
actually,
backgrounds,
that's true. That's very true. Kasi parang eventually you end up running out with ideas.
yeah.
Tapos you end up crossing out some ideas because you think it might be controversial or it might be not inappropriate for the times. Like for example, get back to school. Diba?
Oh,
That's a bit hard to talk about.
Yeah.
What's there to get back to? The screen?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think it helps now we're very diverse. We're very diverse.
Absolutely.
And we ended up exploring a lot of things, which we'll get back to later in this episode. We'll explain to you guys.
Surprise.
Yeah. The things that we are working on. The things we're working on. And we're excited.
But like going in, I'm like, naisip nyo na that you're gonna be part of a podcast. Of course, we had our own like, what do I want to talk about moments before jumping in, right? So like when we were making the calendar, of course, we had suggestions of our own. What was your like suggested like favorite episode? Tingin nyo?
I'll leave it to you two first.
Okay, I would say okay. This one is like, this was when I knew I really liked this group. Because like I didn't think like I would really get into a discussion in which I would actually discuss it. So like time travel, it has to be time travel for me. So like I was, you know what? I have the confidence in the nerdiness of this group. I think we're gonna go far. And when like recording it, I had this self-conscious moment when I was like, oh man, I'm really doing it. I'm really talking about time travel, which just often just passes within particular conversations. Like, oh, okay, so it's time travel. Never really delved into, So I really like that one.
Ako, I have a lot of favorite episodes. One of them is the aliens. And then another is yung favorite bands. But of course, I'm gonna be a little self-indulgent. It's part of my advocacy is really like informing people about the startup ecosystem here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So of course, that episode, the opportunity to share about my experiences being in the startup scene since 2014. That's the most important episode for me because I get to express all of the ideas that I have for startup that I wasn't able to express in other avenues.
Yeah.
Para nandun lahat sinamarize ko lahat ng what I
It's
know
a
about
really good
startup.
episode, guys.
Yeah. You should listen to it. You should listen to it. Abangan nyo lang kasi it's a little down the line. Yung sa akin, it's less about interest, more of something that's actually very personal to me. So the reason why I pursued a podcast in the first place, whether it be with a person or not, was because I wanted to send a positive message, that especially right now in these trying times, there is an opportunity for you to grow. There's an opportunity for you to improve. And a huge part of this pursuit is the message that the episode, it's a month-long episode actually, and thank you guys for letting me go for it. It's discussing about the pandemic and the mental health of the people. So we wanted to give back to our listeners. And I think that one is very, very important to me. And I hope you guys stay tuned because it's a month-long episode explaining the pandemic retrospective, everything we've been through as individuals. We've actually invited a doctor to help discuss about mental illness and I don't know how you can cope with it.
That's something. And of course, we encourage you to comment on the video as well. We'd love to hear your feedback on that. Are you guys up for talking about how we formed the identity of the podcast? There was this whole question. What kind of flavor? I don't know. It just phrased to me that way. Oh, so it's a podcast. But the podcasts I know are the very gimmicky ones. And I'm like, I really wonder what's gonna be the flavor of ours.
Yeah.
Is it
I think the first hurdle obviously was yung name and logo making. It took us 2 months. That was too long. Kasi sobra. You have no idea. Right now, we've spent almost the exact same amount of time recording. Yung recording time, it's almost the exact amount of months compared to the months of deciding the name and the logo. Ang tagal.
Partida, tatlo lang tayo.
Kaya nga. Pero I mean, kasi we wanted to do it right. If you want to introduce yourself, you might as well go for it the big way, the right way. And I think, regarding the identity of the podcast, everyone agreed naman kasi na it's hard when you narrow down your options. So we didn't want to choose just that one topic. Like, for example, we are a sports podcast. We are a business podcast. So we didn't go for that. We wanted to talk about the things we are interested in. So right now, it's safe to say, I think that we are a variety podcast. At very least, that's what we're pursuing.
Hindi ka siya available sa category So.
We do not want to be category.
Yeah. We're rebels. Yung dun sa founding the podcast, what's the most challenging part that you guys went through in the process?
It had to be the name.
It had to
name?
be.
But I'll get back to that. Ikaw muna, Aisa.
Ako, I guess the scheduling. Scheduling part. And then, of course, thinking of the topics.
Yeah.
Where do you put this topic? Or sino yung guest na i-invite mo?
Na appropriate.
So my strategy for that, I couldn't think of a topic right away. I exhausted all of my networks whom I can invite to a podcast and very open to be invited. And then tsaka ako siya iisipan ng topic na appropriate for the person.
Yung balance of do you prioritize the topic or yung the expertise of the person?
Yes.
Hirap nun.
I have to agree. Mine is pretty shallow compared to what I do. But I was yun yung initial concern ko because I'm more of a, how do I say it, immediate thinker. So if it's due tomorrow, that's the only thing I'm gonna do. I'm really thankful I have you guys to think long term. But when thinking about the name, I don't know, man. The field is just so competitive. We're afraid of choosing one name because another one's already taken it. And if it's not the same line of podcast, it might be a band. I don't know.
Sa bagay, that's gonna be kasi the brand So
exactly.
For a while. And I think it was a great decision to just decide, you know what? Let's just make it for how we feel about it. The name Liwanag is just as encompassing as we want it.
However,
and 4.
However, the dilemma of the logo came in. Like how do we address this? What aspects of
Yeah.
Liwanag do we want involved? No?
Yeah.
It was a long process, but I think it was fun and I think it was worth it. The logo you see right now was months of effort.
Even the color scheme, oh my god.
Yeah.
So many
May
times
reason,
we change the colors.
I have a question. So we're in the process right now, almost
Mhm.
done, almost ready to upload everything that we can for
Woohoo!
this season.
Yeah.
Diba? That's a huge thing. As towards the end, when did you realize finally that you were a podcaster?
Wow. Okay, I
Oh
did not
my.
expect that question.
Okay.
Teka lang, this has to be on a universe level. This kind of question. When did okay, and then I found mine. Is it okay for me to go first, Isa?
Mhm.
Sure. Mhm.
Okay. So I just told you guys about this. It was really exciting. I was scheduled for a panel interview for a
Mm.
position in my office, and it was so weird. Like the way I described it, it was an evangelion scene. So I was facing a camera. They were seeing my face, but all I was
Mhm.
seeing of theirs were their names. So
Mhm.
like literally blank. Wala man lang background, man. Alam mo yun? It's nothing to give me something to be pleased about or pleased to see. So
Mhm.
after the presentation, I'm happy to say that I did well. I mean, I get the feedback now, you did well. So that's really good. But then one of them told me, you know what, Kay? You speak really good. And I just couldn't help myself. I said,
Mhm.
well, I'm a podcaster.
Yeah.
I had to wait for that moment. It was so perfect. But
How
that's
about
okay.
you, Isa?
Yeah.
Ako siguro, when we parang basically start delivering the tagline na meron
Yeah.
Oh
tayo.
yeah.
Like to
Yeah.
learn, to inform, and to tell stories na we're able to invite guests, yung nga, the doctor that we had, to discuss
Mm.
about depression and, of course, the coping mechanisms.
Mm.
And I'm sure simple lang siya as it sounds, but we exerted a certain amount of effort in doing all of
Yeah.
the podcast episodes
Yeah.
Yeah.
that we had
Oh.
Yeah.
recorded.
Mm.
And I'm just so happy to say that I am having so much fun with all of the activities we're doing. And of course, a huge part of it is I'm with a great company of people whom I know I can trust and have my back
Yes.
anytime.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly. Yung
Mhm.
sa akin, it's actually much simpler.
Uh-huh.
It was a few months. No, actually na siya. Siguro mga a few weeks ago lang.
Mm.
So we finally compiled a lot of episodes.
Mm.
And nandun kami sa stage na, okay, we have to start editing things.
Mhm.
So, ang
Oh,
ginawa ko
yeah.
sa akin,
Yeah.
di ba, we divided the labor. Oh, ikaw sa episode na to, ikaw sa episode na to. Ako, I
Uh-huh.
was assigned a series of episode.
Uh-huh.
And I did all of it in like a single week. Yung pag-edit, pag-green. The entire time, I was feeling, oh my God, listen to these people.
Uh-huh.
And I feel so happy na we were engaging, talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
different
yeah.
topics, and we were having fun. Then ko na-realize, man, yeah, I'm a podcaster. And I just can't wait to upload every episode, you know?
That's beautiful, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
part of our this initiative as well is to encourage people to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's the main
Yeah.
thing. It really
Yeah.
helps to get your thoughts out there. I was just telling Marvin a while ago, Isa, that
Mhm.
maybe I'm now just learning how to talk. Just let me make sense of that. But
Goo goo gaga.
I'm taking my very first words. No, it was like I had yet to have a platform as free to speak my mind in as this.
True.
Yeah.
It's like
The same for
very
me.
therapeutic, guys. Yeah, as the same
Yeah.
for you. Good to know. Mm.
Yeah. Plus, it helps na, with every topic we discuss, we tend to go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, that's
sometimes,
a lot of fun.
sometimes so much so that it's in tangent now with the topic. We try to get
We had to cut a lot of things,
Yeah.
guys.
People might get weirded out now.
yeah. Which actually brings me to the next point.
Uh-huh.
So we were talking about a while ago. Now we have other endeavors. So aside from the podcast, everyone here, you could expect from us to do live streaming soon, and maybe even YouTube. So in the live stream, the idea it's gonna be a Minecraft server. However, the name is Minecast because it's a combination of playing Minecraft and podcasting.
Yeah.
So the things now we weren't able to mention in an episode would be discussed while we are playing the game. We hope that you guys would join us during these kinds of streaming moments.
Yeah, and it's got to be fun. I think I don't know, I don't mean to brag in a way, but it's all about, finding the niches that you can combine.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we discovered along the way as well. So I really, really look forward to that. And
Yes.
Isa, what about Liwanag education?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of video tutorials. Basically, the first video tutorials would be focused on how to use a 3D printer. I hope all of the listeners could watch that tutorial once we upload that in our YouTube channel under Liwanag Education. And what I'm excited about is the entire process because we're learning a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God, we are.
like
Yeah.
like even the streaming of the games. So
Yeah.
a lot of the technical stuff of that's
Yeah.
what I'm excited about learning all of
Me
this.
too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's this kind of feeling that, okay, so what we're doing right now might be a bit chaotic. We're mixing a lot of things. But there's also this impression that maybe it'll come out as something, especially us. Like it's so unique to us. I mean, that's the kind of excitement I'm getting as well from the anticipation. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah. So there's this actually one last thing we are trying to pursue. However, we cannot divulge it as of yet because it's
We're
the
on ninja mode.
preparation. Yeah. But this
Stealth mode.
thing, to give you guys an idea, is we're pursuing creating an application. Yun na lang muna.
Yun na lang muna.
Yeah, we're pursuing creating an application. Kaso the timeline we have for this is pretty long kasi we want this to be a very, very good thing, to say the least na lang. Look forward to that. We will update you as soon as possible with another episode about that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I hope you ended up learning why we ended up founding Liwanag in the first place.
Enjoy the rest of them coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Promise it's fun.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
If you liked the episode, don't forget to share it with your friends.
Follow us on all social media. Links are in the description.
Thank you for listening. See you guys next time.